guys for hopping on. Hope y'all are having a great day, great week so far. If you didn't see, I just gave a few shout outs on our team page for some people who are already kicking butt and taking names. This month, Tara is already at Success Club 8. And then we have, what are you at, Michelina? I didn't see your points. Or did I miss it?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Now I can hear you. I could barely hear you.
Oh.
I don't have any.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I didn't miss you. I was so scared I did. But we got Brianna is already at 2, Emily is already at 2, and Stephanie's at 4. So it's awesome to see you guys already, pressing in and making stuff happen. And the month is still very young, so don't give up. For me, I'm still pushing Lift 4 because if you didn't know, people can still join the test group. Even though it already started, they can actually join the test group. They have until July 31st to join the test group. And then they have to request access before, I believe it's before the 31st, they have to request access. So I'm still inviting people to the test group as if it hasn't even started, I'm inviting basically the same way I was before it started. I'm literally inviting the same exact way. And I've had a lot of great interaction on the fact that it's a test group and that's exclusive and exciting and it's a new program. So just a little tidbit there. But I think you guys are all pretty well versed with what's going on as far as the new things that are happening and coming out. And is there anybody in here who jumped in the Diamond Dash group? Yeah, and it's been really good, right? I've seen
it is amazing. It is just, it got me so busy you have no idea.
Oh, I bet. So you might have some things to chime in on tonight. So tonight, guys, I'm not going to necessarily do a lot of talking tonight because I want to hear from you guys, because every week, we get on here and we always run out of time for question and answers. So I'm like, tonight we're doing that. So this is something that Jessica used to do with us when we were on her personal coach calls. And I found it really helped me to hear from not just my coach, but hear from some of the other coaches on the team too, and kind of hear what maybe some of their victories are, maybe some of the things that they're overcoming and how they're doing it. Even, with certain team calls, or anytime I go to a training, anytime I go to a Super Saturday, I'm listening for like that key or that thing that is going to fit in with what I've got going on right now, you'll hear, like, if you haven't heard this before, you can't do everything that everybody is doing. Like, you're going to hear one coach and they talk about how they do it like this, and one coach does it like this, and they post on Instagram 10 times a day, and this coach posts on Facebook 5 times a day, and this coach runs free groups, and this coach runs sneak peek groups. You might not do everything that everybody does. You have to find what works for you and what's speaking to you about where you're at in your coaching journey. And don't try to do everything that everybody is doing. Stick to the basics first and foremost. Master the basics and do the things that really speak to you, that jump out to you, that that are going to move your business forward. And so you can take that advice as it comes too, So be listening tonight, because you might hear something that you're just like, it could be like an aha moment. I've had a series of aha moments through team calls and through listening to other coaches and stuff. So, okay. So we're just going to we're going to go around in a circle. I'm going to start with Michelina because I know she's not afraid. And everybody's going to share. Now, here's the thing. You have to we're going to share a victory and a struggle. Before you share the struggle, you have to share the victory. All right. Because this is not going to be a venting boohoo session. All right. We're going to be productive in our conversation. This is about helping you get over your struggles and not just vent about them. You can vent about them to, your significant other or whatever, but we want this to be constructive. Okay. We want this, I do want to hear, like, for real, like, what are you struggling with? And so we can talk about it, but you have to share a victory too. All right. Got to balance it out. So Michelina, you're first.
Yes. I have a big victory. I just invited somebody to coaching just before I got on this call that I really, really was afraid of inviting. And I wrote it really honest, how embarrassed, and I was afraid of asking her, but I was going to ask her anyway, and I did, and she took it really well. What I'm doing right now, because I'm doing a Diamond Dash, is I'm not focusing so much on the Success Club point. I'm focusing on getting those coaches. So my goal is, and I think this is very important for everyone to do, look at your blueprint, know how many coaches you still need, look at who's inactive, who's active. And it was really boring to do that, but I got to do it. I got to look at who's on each leg. So that is my main focus. I have decided I'm going to sign 2 up under my husband. I'm going to sign 2 up under his sister, even though I got 2 other coaches that is both have a coach under them. I'm going to do my work. I'm not counting on nobody. I'm counting on me.
Yes.
So
so what you're saying is you have your sister's on one leg and your husband's on the other leg, right? And you're going to put coaches under them to make them emerald, to make you diamond. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yeah. Because I know that I can do the work. And when I took a shower yesterday, I had a big aha moment. And that was, I got a warm market. I got a warm market that is so warm, and it's all my husband's friends. I have not digged into that. So I have put him on, I'm tagging him in every single post I do. And his friends are already asking about Shakeology. And I have him drinking his Shakeology with me now in the morning, and he's working out with me every day, and I'm tagging him, and we're doing a free group together. And I'm going to take that warm market, I'm going to turn it into some coaches.
That's awesome. Dude, I love that.
Struggles. Oh, this is tough.
Okay, I want to pause you just for a second, because I want to show everybody else what you're talking about as far as knowing what your diamond looks like, and knowing what the genealogy of that looks like. So I'm actually going to pull up, because that's really important, because a lot of people, they don't even know how to check their back office, or they don't even know how to check where they're at. So you can go in your back office, you go to monitor my business, and you can look at sponsorship drill down. That's going to show you, how many coaches you have on your left, how many on your right, who's active, who's inactive. And you need to get familiar with that. You need to know how to use that. And if you don't, you can reach out to me. I can help you. You can also reach out to Google or YouTube, and there's totally tutorials on that. But I can help you too if you'd rather deal with the person and not the computer, because I want you to get that. But it's super important for you to know where you're at, and the visual of it is really awesome. So you can easily download something like this. So I want to show you what it looks like for diamond. Okay. So this is diamond. It's you, and then you have 4 coaches on the left, 4 on the right. You need 1 emerald on the left and 1 emerald on the right. So what Michelina is doing, and what a lot of coaches do so that they have control of their diamond, is that they put, for example, you have your spouse on one leg. So if you have your spouse on one leg, you control that business center. So you can sign up 2 coaches underneath your spouse, and therefore make him emerald, and there you have one of your emeralds covered. And then if you have another family member on your other leg, you can do the same thing. And you can make them an emerald, just put 2 coaches under them, help them stay emerald if they're not running the business. Or maybe it's someone who you just totally run their account, 100%. And then that way you control your diamond, because this is what happens with diamond. A lot of times you go diamond, and this is what has happened with me, because I have my husband on one leg, but I didn't have anybody else on my other leg. So someone else on my other leg, if they went inactive or they dropped their rank from emerald, then I would drop my rank as a diamond. Okay. Which you think, okay, not a big deal, but it kind of is, because as an emerald, your paycheck from the team volume caps out at $250 a week. So you can have the volume of $500 a week, of $1,000 a week. But if your rank is emerald, then it's going to cap out at $250 a week. So you have to maintain rank if you want to benefit from the paycheck that your team volume is producing. So that was always super important to me. So what she's done is she has control over those 2 things, which is really cool. And a lot of people do that because it gives you control. You don't have to worry about, hey, if somebody else drops their rank, whatever, they're going to do what they're going to do. But I know what I can do. I know I can sign up another coach and put them there. And it just gives you more control that way. So, and then she did this form. I don't know if you can send us a blank one of these.
I can
That
send you guys
great.
one.
Post this in the group. So guys,
okay.
this would be a great activity to do. And as you can see, this is what she's done. I will advance to diamond by such and such a date. This is her goal that she's given herself. And, you know, and you just kind of fill in, and this is where you go in your back office and you can look at your sponsorship drill down. Or your genealogy. It's easier to look at your sponsorship drill down, because if you look at the genealogy, you're going to see everybody that has been added, that people underneath you have added, that people underneath you have added, and it could kind of get confusing. But basically, this is what it looks like if you could just show, you know, your legs and just your personally sponsored coaches. This is what it would look like. So it helps to have that visual, because now you can see, like, oh, I only need 1, 2, 3, 4 coaches. And if she's going to make her, she's going to make her sister emerald, she needs 2 coaches here. She's going to make her husband emerald, she needs 2 coaches here. Needs a coach here. Literally, she's 4 coaches away from diamond. You can sign up 4 coaches in a month. So just wanted to show you guys that visual really quick. Okay. So moving along, struggles.
Whew. It's just, I don't know. It's just people. People. You gave me an assignment to find better people for me, not better people. Everyone,
I know what you mean.
good.
I know what you're saying.
So that's hard for me. It's hard for me to get people to be my friends that I want. It's very easy to get somebody that's already selling another product to be my friend.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They want to be everybody's friend.
So that is a bit. That's hard. That's a hard job you gave me, a task.
Did you check out the Tone It Up thing that I told you about?
No, Tone It Up. I forgot what it was called. Tone It Up.
Yes. Okay. So, so this is something important too, you know, to make sure that the people that you're reaching out to are, number one, your demographic, so that you can actually connect with them. And number 2 is to make sure that they're the caliber of people that you want to work with. You know, like if you're talking to, for example, if you're talking to a bunch of college age students that, you know, they just graduated high school and they're in college and all they want to do is party and go out on the weekends, you're not going to get very far. If you're spending all your time trying to form those people, you're going to be hitting your head against the wall. Are they great people? Yeah, they are, but they have different priorities. They have different focus. You're not necessarily going to relate with them if that's not your crowd. And you know what I'm saying? So it's important that you're speaking to the right people. So this is something that I found that has worked very well for me as far as Instagram, reaching out to people on Instagram. A lot of other coaches do this, but whatever. There's a reason that some of the top coaches do this, because these are the exact kind of people that we'd like to work with. So I don't know how to find them on Facebook, but on Instagram, I'm going to put this in the chat here. On Instagram, there's this whole community called Tone It Up, okay? And it's basically like a female Beachbody on demand thing. And it's run by 2 sisters, and they do this whole thing called the Bikini Series. And so I think people pay like a really low subscription to access their workouts and their meal plans. So it's kind of like Beachbody on demand, but I guess it's just more girly, because it's more like it's these 2 girls and it's all about swimsuits and stuff. But the online community for it is huge. And on Instagram, they have a massive community, and it's women that there's no coaching in it. Okay. So it's like they have the Beachbody on demand aspect, and it's all about, you know, posting and accountability and, you know, hashtagging and all of that, but they don't have the coaching aspect. So you have this whole community of women that are doing exactly what we do as far as sharing their fitness journey online, working out every day, you know, posting their meals, posting their progress photos, all that kind of stuff. And like a lot of them have accounts on Instagram just because of this. So they're very like, they get that side of it, but they're not involved in coaching. So obviously, you know, I'm sure there are a lot of coaches out there that are clued into this. So it's not about, you know, just befriending them and sending them, you know, an invite to coaching. It's really about, I think in my opinion, it's about friending these people and getting to know them and building trust. But if you do that and you do it right, then when you do show them what we're doing and you are sharing your story, you're sharing what you're doing, then they're like the ideal kind of person, you know? So I'm going to actually show you some of the hashtags that I use on Instagram to search these women, or to put on my things that I'm using on Instagram to hashtag my content so they can find me. But it's more me, like whenever I go on Instagram and I'm like, okay, I need to find some new people, I need to engage with some new people, these are some of the people that I'm this is what I look for at hashtags. So my main one, it's tone it up, TIU mama. So that's like my main hashtag that I'm searching. So tone it up community is one, hashtag tone it up bikini series, tone it up mom. I don't know. There's like, those are just a few, but I mean, you guys, like, I have other ones written down and stuff, but those are really good hashtags to search on Instagram. If you're not using Instagram that much and you're more on Facebook, then I don't know. I haven't experimented with that on Facebook, but maybe you can, you know, reach out on some Facebook groups and maybe there's some stuff like that. But so on Instagram, that's where I'm finding really good quality, ideal market people. But if you're not on Instagram much, I would suggest, you know, really looking into the groups on Facebook. For me, like the mom groups for, like, that's where I actually met you, Michelina, was through a mom group, you know? So that's been really awesome for me on the Facebook side, because it's just so easy to connect with other moms who, especially if they have kids the same age, you know? So, you know, so that's really my best advice for that. And, you know, and then what happens is, let's say you find like a pocket of awesome people that you're like, this is my kind of person. This is the kind of person I want to work with. You go through their friends list, because if they're your ideal kind of person, start looking at their friends and friend some of their friends, because if you think they're cool and you connect with them, then obviously you're more likely to connect with their friends in their circle too. So that's kind of like what I do on the Facebook side, is I'm trying to connect with their friends too, because if they're my ideal person, their friends will be my ideal person too, more likely than not. So
I did one thing too that really gave me some good friends. In one of those mom groups, I wrote, my daughter's birthday is 1st of August. Is there anyone else moms that has the same birthday month for their baby? So we could follow each other.
yes.
And I got like 20 friends out of that, and we all our kids are the same age.
That's awesome.
And it's really good because we have so much in common.
Yes. See, there you go. The thing is that you're probably frustrated right now is maybe you're not connecting with a lot of them on the fitness side yet, because you're still forming them. You're still getting to know them, but you are making, you know, headway in that area because you're getting to know them. And honestly, that's extremely important. You're building that credibility and that trust, and that's super important. So you will see the fruit of that down the road. You are doing it. You just maybe haven't seen the fruit of it yet, but you are doing it. You're on the right track.
And my free groups are getting bigger, so I know I'm connecting with more people.
Yes, exactly. That is awesome. Yeah. That's a really good sign. So you're actually doing really well with that. And one other way that you can find good people, and like the kind of people that maybe you know that you would connect with, and this will work whether on Facebook or Instagram, is like, think about some of the products or the brands that you really like. Like my ideal thing is I'm gonna go for baby equipment first, you know. So like, I love Honest Company. I love the Lil Baby Carrier. I love the Baby Catan Carrier, you know. So think about some of those brands, and you can search on Instagram, you can search the hashtags of those brands. Okay. On Facebook, you can actually go to their product page on Facebook, and you can find moms that are commenting and leaving reviews about it. You can ask them, like, if it's something that maybe you're interested in purchasing, you can reach out to a mom that left a review and be like, hey, I saw you got the, you know, Samsung baby monitor X2000. What do you think about it? You know, like, I'm thinking about getting one, whatever it is, you know, but like good brands and stuff. That's just a great way to start up a conversation with somebody, you know, and talk to them in a really easygoing way, non-confrontational way. And then, you know, obviously, if you're interested in the same kind of products, you likely have kids, you can, you know, the conversation easily flows. And so that's a really good way to connect with people too. So, but yeah, good job on that for sure. So, okay, cool. All right. So let's, who's next? Emily?
Hey.
Hi. How's little man? Hey, handsome. Oh,
thank
you're
you.
so
So I'm trying to keep the phone above the waistline.
Me too, buddy. Me too.
Tell me the question again. I'm sorry.
So, well, we're just kind of going around and having everybody share a victory and share a struggle. So share a victory, something that's going well that you feel like, okay, this is good, I'm making progress here. And a struggle, something you want to work on, or maybe could use some help with, some advice or whatever.
Mommy. So I think one of my victories, well, I don't know if it's a victory or more of just like a strong suit. I get a lot of interaction. I've been getting a lot of interaction from my stories. Yes, say hi. So a lot of people have been actually, lately more people have been reaching out to me than I've been reaching out to them, just because of my stupid busy schedule and not knowing how to manage my time very well right now. But my stories have been creating a lot of traffic to my page and people asking me what I'm doing, and that gets my that gets a lot of interaction for me and ways to start conversations. Say yes, hi, buddy.
Hi.
And then I guess just a victory in general is I have 2 Success Club points, I think, right now. And I didn't even really, I shouldn't say this, but I didn't really work hard for them.
No, I know what you mean. Sometimes they just come in because you've been planting seeds.
Yes. And a struggle is just the same struggle I always have. I have a really hard time managing my time well with 2 babies. So.
Hi, little man. Well, dude, that's awesome about the Instagram stories. So, like, what kind of content are you putting up there to get that kind of interaction?
I think one of the best ways that one of the main reasons I get a lot of interaction is because I do a lot of research on social media and how to like attract traffic to your pages, and I post a lot in my stories, and the more you post, like the most recent things show up on people's feed first, like in the line of people. So I post throughout the day, so my name is always like first on the list when people go to click on people's stories. Mm-hmm. But I just post a lot about my workouts and nutrition and basically the healthy part of my life rather than I don't post a bunch of sad mamba jamba or anything like that.
None of the powdered sugar donuts on the side.
Yeah, I don't tell people about my late night Bluebell cravings with the ice cream.
Struggle is real. That's awesome, though. That's really good. That's amazing to get good interaction. Like, that's definitely a victory for sure. So, as far as the time management, girl, I think we have all been there. We are all there. We are all going to be there. I feel like that is something, like, I mean, you guys probably hear me talk about that on a weekly basis. Like, that was my biggest challenge. That's a lot of people's biggest challenge. And, it's one of those things that you work on so you get better at it. And I have worked on it and I've gotten better at it, but I'm still not great at it. That's still something I've always had to really pay attention to. And I think kind of everybody's in that boat because we live such busy lives. We all have so much on our plate. And, it's like you have to get really disciplined with your time and with your schedule in order to fit this in. But the beauty of it is that it does free you up down the road, okay, we talked about this a little bit last week. I was going to say, who did I talk to this about the other day? We talked about on the call a little bit last week as far as time management, some of the things that I do, every day that help me big time is the night before I make a list. I have like a tentative schedule. I set aside my work hours tentatively. I know that the day does not always go as planned, but I kind of have like an idea. Okay, I'm working here when the kids are napping. I'm working here. I'm doing my workout while they're awake because I can handle to do that while they're awake. The things I try to do the things that I can do with my baby awake while she's awake. And then the things that I know that I need to have really disciplined, focused time. As soon as she goes down for that nap, I'm like game face on and I'm like right there with my to-do list, diving right in, not getting distracted about the dishes and the laundry and all like that stuff I can do while she's awake. I can do it later. But when I have my business hour or when I leave her with Alex for a little while, that's like my focused time and I have to treat it like gold. And I put a timer on and I work against the clock on a timer. And, I can tell you not every day goes perfectly. And it's not that it's, I always feel like I have enough time, but those little things do help a lot. And, you know, and something I didn't mention last week that I'll just throw out there now is that, you know, with like, you know, having a very structured schedule so that you can fit things in all that. In all of that, I would highly encourage you guys too to schedule time off. You know, if you find yourself working 7 days a week, that's not good because you'll burn yourself out. So, you know, have business hours, treat it like a business and have business hours, and it will reward you like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, it'll reward you like a hobby. Treating it like a business doesn't mean you have to work, you know, 40 hours a week at it. I promise you I don't, and I don't think I ever have because I've never had 40 hours a week to put towards this. But you know, but treat it like a business. So when it is your business hours, you're the CEO and you're clocked in. And you know, and for some that might be those 10-minute pockets, you know, especially those of you who have more than one kid. It might be those 10-minute pockets, but that 10 minutes, you are the CEO, you're the boss, and you're like getting stuff done during those 10 minutes. And so it really just comes down to finding the schedule that's going to work for you. It's going to be totally different for you than it is anybody else. So it's not like my schedule is going to match yours. You have to find what's going to work for you. But whether you're scheduling 10 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever, knowing what you need to do during your working hours or your working minutes is key. So that like when you go to sit down, you're not trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do? What am I have so much to do. What do I do now? Like know what you're going to do the day before. And so, you know, okay, when I get this 10-minute window, I'm going to work. When I have my 1 hour window, I'm going to work on this, this, and this. And I'm going to work on this for 20 minutes, that for 20 minutes, that for 20 minutes. And really stick to the timer of that. Don't spend, you know, your whole hour following up. You know, if you set aside 10 minutes for following up, do 10 minutes of follow up and then shut it down and move on to the next thing. So it's really just like getting strict with your schedule on that. And, you know, and knowing what activities to work on when you have those times. And you will get better at that. It's one of those things, practice makes perfect. And I'm always practicing. I'm still practicing that, but it's getting better. It's definitely getting better. So, but that's good. That's good to share. Very good. All right, Rachel, you're next. Victory and a struggle.
Alrighty, so my victory, I think one of my victories would be, is that me making that loud noise or no?
Maybe, but it went away, so.
Okay, so I personally think my biggest victory was getting over selfies. That's huge because I'm not a selfie person at all.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. And now I'm up like professional. I know where lightings and everything is crazy. And anywho, that's one of my victories. The other one would be inviting. I was very scared of like inviting. It was not my cup of tea, messaging people randomly saying, hey, you want to come join me and be one of my coach or be in my challenge group? Because I'm not someone to go out and do that, you know? And let's see what else. I guess I got quite a few victories. I have that, and sharing a bit more about my personal life. You know, I'm not a social media person. I still don't know much about it. I don't do Instagram. I know I probably.
That's okay. No, that's okay.
But it's okay. I'll get there eventually. Yikes, this crap is loud. And I think one of my big, my setback is consistency. I suck big time. I'm just keeping it 100. I try to do it every day, but there's just some days where I will sit down and I will go like rampage mode and I will send like 50 messages out from like inviting to getting to know them. What is it, forming?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go back and forth chatting with them. Great. Guess what? The next day, I'm like, I'm going to work. I don't. The next day goes by. I don't. The next day goes by. And dude, by the end of the week, I haven't done nothing. You know? That's my biggest struggle is consistency.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, that is good. And I have seen like you've come a super long way with social media world, you know, and I think like most of us probably have from where we started. If you look back to like when you first started as a coach, or when you even just, when you first started,
It
you
pops
like
up on your memories. So
you're like, oh wow, like, oh man, that's crazy. It makes you laugh and make you giggle. And even, you know, literally the top coaches on our team, they'll tell you the same thing. They'll tell you of all the things that they did wrong or what not to do, or, you know, and that's the funny part about it is with this, you don't come into it knowing what to do. You come into it learning what to do as you go, and you commit to failing your way forward. And nothing's a failure if you're willing to learn from it and grow from it. So everybody has a growing process to go through with that, and you've done very well with that. So that is fun. That is exciting. I love to see that growth. And you know, the consistency, yeah, man, that's like, here's what I find with myself, and I don't know if you're the same or if the rest of you guys are the same. I find like, okay, I have this list of like things that I want to do every day. And if I'm having like a super busy day and I look at my list and I'm like, I just get overwhelmed by it. And so I just put it away, you know? And so I've found myself feeling like that about business sometimes, is that like, oh, if I don't have a whole hour to do something, if I don't have, you know, 3 hours to put on my business today, if I'm just like running and, you know, stuff's going crazy and I just don't have time, you know, I'm just not going to do it. But you have to break down your activities and give yourself something that you can do every day. So like, okay, so maybe you don't have time every day to send 50 messages, but you could send 3, you know? So break down those big numbers and even those activities and just break them down into really achievable steps that you know that you can get done every day. Even if it's 30 minutes, even if it's an hour, because it's just like your workout, you know? Like on the days where I'm like super busy or just super unmotivated and I'm like, I do not want to work out, I will put on like Turbo Fire, a 15-minute workout, and I'll do that 15-minute workout. And because I'm like, I can do 15 minutes, you know, that's dumb. Like, who can't do 15-minute workout? If you can't do 15-minute workout, then, you know, I mean, please, like, you know, so I'll do something like that. Just 15 minutes. Why? Because it keeps me mentally in the game. And, you know, once you get started after 15 minutes, you're like, okay, that wasn't so bad. You know, I probably could have, you know, I can probably do another 10 minutes of abs or something like that. But, you know, so it's just that initial step, because it's like, I think mentally we psych ourselves out sometimes because we look and we're like, oh man, I need to send all these invites. Or my thing is, oh, I have all these follow-ups to do. And I'm like, rah. And so then I just procrastinate them because I have so many things to do, and it just overwhelms me. But it's like the more you put it off, the bigger the pile gets, the more overwhelmed you get, and the more you feel like you have to start over. So the trick is to just keep like a stick in the fire every day. So even if, I mean, like, obviously if you're going to take a day off, which I highly recommend. Like, I have at least one day a week. It sometimes changes on the day, but I have at least one day a week where I try to totally unplug, where I don't respond to messages or anything. You know, and I'll schedule my posts and maybe that's it. But that is like super important to, you know, the other days of the week is to do something. Even if it's just sending invites, send the invites. Even if it's just 3 invites, do 3. That's why I like the Power of 3 document, which I'm pretty sure you guys have seen that. I'll post it up in the group later, but it's a power hour sheet based on the power of 3. So instead of like sending 5 invites, it's about sending 3. So 3 invites, 3 new friend requests, reaching out to 3 people, you know, and it's broken down into 3 because it's like 3 is like, you can do that. Like 3, that's a bite you can chew. It's like, if you take this big thing, it just gets so overwhelming. But if you just break it down into small steps and be like, okay, 1 is better than nothing. 3 is better than nothing. I might not be able to do 10. I might not be able to do 50, but I can do 3 invites. I might not be able to empty out my inbox. I might not be able to respond to everybody, but I can respond to 3 to 5 people that I talked to, you know, a couple days ago. I can follow up with them, you know. So don't have like an all or nothing kind of mentality. Have like, you know, a little bit at a time, because it's not the big things, you know, it's not the big light bulb moments. It's not the one post you're going to do. It's not the one workout that's going to give you a 6-pack. It's not the, you know, the one workout that's going to make you lose 50 pounds. It's showing up every day and doing that little bit a day, you know. And you got to think about like your challengers, your fitness challengers. If they come to you and they're like, oh yeah, I want to lose 100 pounds. I want to lose 100 pounds. You're like, Okay, great. You're like, I hope you're committed to this for the long haul, because you're not going to lose 100 pounds in a month. You're not going to lose 100 pounds in 2 months. You might not even lose 100 pounds in 6 months. But if you give it a year, I bet you get pretty darn close if you stay consistent. If you do the little steps, it's the little steps every day that add up. And that's why, I say it all the time. Like I take so much joy and pleasure in not necessarily just hitting Success Club or, signing up a new coach. Like, that's always awesome, but that's always a cherry on top for me. My sense of accomplishment comes from doing the little things daily, from, doing my invites daily, doing those things, those consistent steps that I know lead to those wins and those victories. But that, like, the win and the victory happens every day when I know that I've done at least the bare minimum, and on the days I have more time, I go for the maximum. But on the days that I don't have time, I'm aiming to hit those minimum goals. So set some minimum goals for yourself that you can achieve every day. If it's sending 2 invites, if it's sending 3, whatever it is, but set some minimum goals that you're like, okay, I know that I can do this. I know I can, spend 30 minutes on this, or spend, 20 minutes on this, or every time I go to the bathroom today, I'm going to invite somebody. Every time I go to my refrigerator and get a snack, I'm going to invite somebody. Put like little challenges like that for yourself. Because what does it take? It takes, maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes to do that. But if you do it 3 times a day, you do it, 4 or 5 times a day, then hey, that those little things really, really add up. So that would be my best advice on that. But we are, Shaughnessy, I wanted to get to you, darling, but we are out of time. We have like 2 minutes left. But if you have a victory to share really quick, we'd love to hear it.
Gosh, I mean, it's been, I was just doing the same. It's funny, we're all doing the same thing today. It was like looking back, like where we were when we first started coaching. It was like, wow. Okay, that's enough of that. Any more of that, that's going to get depressing. So no, it's been good. It's been fun. It's been a really crazy couple weeks. I've just been kind of along for the ride, but, yeah, I don't even want to start listing all the challenges. I will depress myself, but it's been good. It's been fun, and I have about 7 or 8 ladies in my challenge group, and that I pretty much just keep that going. It's been going for about 4 months now. I do a challenge group every month, so
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been fun. I usually get 1 or 2 new people, which is not a lot, but 1 or 2 a month. It'll get there. It'll get there.
Yeah. Totally. 1 or 2 a month, that adds up. Think about it. Think about, like, what if you sign up 1 awesome rock star coach a month,
Yeah.
What if 1 out of the 2 or 3 coaches that you sign up are people that really decide to run with the business? You might think, oh, it's only 2 people. You don't know, that person might be, the next Jessica Bowser Nelson. It might be the next person that they really get it and they really run with it. So, you can never despise the days of small beginnings. You can never despise, just this, the small steps, because it is truly the small things that lead to the big things. And, my biggest takeaway from tonight, if you can take anything away, is really spend time to invest in people and invest in connecting with people, because that is going to lead to longevity in your business and quality connections, so that you actually enjoy what you're doing. And it takes it away from the sales thing, and it makes it personal. It makes it about people. And if you focus on helping people meet their goals, whether it's fitness or business, if you focus on truly helping them meet their goals, you will meet yours along the way. And it will be so much more rewarding and exciting and enjoyable because of it. So, but we're going to time out any second now, but I'm super proud of you guys. And, I'm excited to see the growth.